It's really easy to come up with reasons why you aren't saving enough money, why you haven't started investing, why you aren't paying off your debt, why you keep going over your budget, or whatever money-related issue it is that you have. Now, maybe you tell yourself that you deserve to treat yourself and spend some money. Maybe you're telling yourself that you're so far behind with money that you're never gonna catch up anyways. Maybe you think that you're not smart enough or confident enough to be good with money. Or maybe you're surrounded by other people that say that caring about all that money stuff just isn't for them. Now, don't get me wrong here. There's a lot of different factors that are working against people when it comes to both money and also to financial resources. And if you're watching this, then that likely means that you're in the middle class. Now, I'm saying that because as of 2021, 50% of the American population is considered middle class, and almost 80% of Americans are either middle or lower income households. Now, even though people that have been leaving the middle class since 1971 are going both to the upper and lower classes at a pretty much almost even spread, the people who are in the upper income bracket are pulling further and further ahead from everyone else. Now, over time, even though worker productivity has been increasing, the amount of compensation that workers make hasn't kept up. People who own assets, whether that's businesses, real estates, or stocks, are making a lot more money than the people who are working to keep the whole system running. And even though technically anyone could be rich, literally not everyone can be, because our financial system relies on workers versus owners. Now, all of those factors are really important to remember, but we want you to focus on what's within your control. And realistically, the financial goals that you want to hit for yourself are likely not being hit because of you. You have all these different reasons for why you're never gonna hit your goals, and that's exactly why you won't. Think of it this way. Have you ever had that experience before where you really want something to happen, so it feels like it's never going to? You're basically terrified that it'll never come true. But then the things that you're not very stressed out about seem to happen way, way easier. That's the power of you. Now, don't get it twisted here. There's no goal hitting without action. So we're gonna break down how you're holding yourself back and then also what actions you can take to make sure that you get over that.
Now, I'm sure you guys have had that feeling before where something money related just feels super, super complicated. And now, if you're watching this video, you probably have some understanding of money, but there's gotta be that one thing or that, that specific thing that just feels way, way, way over your head. Now, it's not your fault that you think it's complicated. That's just exactly how it's been presented pretty much everywhere, right? Like if you take a look at the traditional banks, they make it sound like you need their help to do everything from where you keep your money to how you invest it, if you even do that. Or scaring you into thinking that paying more fees means that your money is safer. Or even if we're talking about the news, right, where people are using all these big terms and don't really break down financial concepts into simple language. Or for example, if we're talking about news articles, right? If you're reading a news article and it has all this jargon and it literally feels like you need a dictionary to even get started, that sucks too.
Bond yields softening up, oil rolling over a bit.
I'm doing a lot of reading, as I'm sure many of us are, on the bullwhip effect.
Can I posit one thought? And maybe a quick, fast recession is exactly what we need.
Okay.
Instead, what happens is a lot of people either just completely give up and they work to make money to pay off their essentials, and then they use any extra money that they have to just treat themselves, and then they keep working and they continue the cycle. Or they listen to what the people at the bank and on the news are telling them without really understanding what that means for them or what it's even doing for them. Overall, here's what you have to remember, right? No one's denying that there's good information in these places. There definitely is. But the traditional banks are trying to make money from you. They're selling you these high-cost products. And then the news, obviously they need something to talk about every single day, so the main messaging is for sure gonna get lost in translation.
I declare bankruptcy!
But what I will tell you is that getting your financial life together can be super, super straightforward, but at first it starts with understanding your income and your expenses and figuring out how much you can keep and not spend every single month. Then what you do with that money, that's the next question. Ideally, you're building an emergency fund, then paying off your high interest rate debt, and then starting to invest. But listen, even after you understand those basic steps, actually holding yourself to it, that's the next battle. And that part, actually holding yourself accountable, once you know what financial steps you need to take in order to actually reach your financial goals, that's the important one. This is where you can easily get distracted and hold yourself back from doing what's best for you and your future self.
You've probably heard the phrase keeping up with the Joneses before, or maybe you even literally saw that movie that's called The Joneses that highlights how people envy their neighbors and how they'll buy and spend pretty much whatever they need to look just like them, even though their real life financial situation might not be the same at all.
Hello. Meet the Joneses.
I'm Steve Jones.
Hi. They're not just living the American dream, they're selling it.
Now, this is a problem that a lot of people have. It's comparison, and also thinking that looking like you have a lot of money means that you actually do have a lot of money. Now, this is one of the main things that can really take people away from their financial goals and also the steps that you want to be following. It seriously takes a lot of discipline and focus and sacrifice to actually focus on paying off your debt or saving or investing, whatever financial step you're on. And when you see people around you, whether that's your neighbor like it was in the movie, or if it's your colleagues at work, or if it's your friends, when you see them spending on new cars and vacation and the hottest new tech and clothes, whatever it is, people naturally want to fit in and actually keep up. Now, even though I actively know all this stuff, I know that I've definitely still said something before like, how can they afford that? And how do I know if that person could even afford it? Maybe they were in debt, maybe they were living paycheck to paycheck, maybe they made a lot more money than I did, maybe they've been saving up for that purchase for years, or maybe they have family money. Basically, there's a lot you don't know. And considering that according to a recent study, up to 64% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, yes, 64%. That's more than the percentage of people that are even in the middle class. Now, it's definitely highly probable that someone buying a lot of material items can't even actually really afford it. It's also a good reminder that you could really be living paycheck to paycheck at any income level, especially if you've been lifestyle creeping over time. If every time you make more money, you're also spending more money, then your financial situation really isn't changing at all. It's just the amount of money that you're spending that's changing. And that might feel fine when your income's still coming in, but you're not in a good situation if that were to suddenly change. Because here's the thing, a lot of people just prolong their stress into the future. You might think that not thinking about your money and your finances now is better because you don't want to have to stress out about it all. But all you're doing is pushing that stress into the future. Now, what if you got laid off from your job and you're living paycheck to paycheck all of a sudden? There's no emergency fund, and you can't keep up with your current lifestyle. You're gonna be stressed out then. What if when you get a little older, you decide you want to retire and you realize you can't retire and keep up your current lifestyle because you didn't put any money away? You're gonna be stressed out then. And again, if you're one of those people that are thinking right now, what if I'm not alive then anyways? Well, statistically, you will be. Around 80% of Americans make it to 65 years old, which is what's generally known as that retirement age.
Okay, so let's do a quick recap and make sure that we're all on the same page here. So on top of the systemic factors that are holding people back from their financial success, you are also the reason why you're not hitting your financial goals. Now, this is for a few reasons, right? Maybe you tell yourself that it's too complicated or that you aren't capable of figuring it out. And then once you actually do figure it out, you get distracted by keeping up with everyone else. So buying the cars, the clothes, the vacations, all the things that you think you need to have or deserve. And then you know what? Maybe you get to a point where you think to yourself, you know what? I deserve to enjoy life right now. Because what if I die before retirement anyways? Even though you likely won't. Anyways, guys, that's where we're at right now. And if you feel like we're describing you and you're still watching right now, that's great, because here's our next point. You can enjoy life now and still prioritize for your future self too. Thinking that it's one or the other is holding yourself back from you actually hitting your financial goals. If you only stick to looking internally and not comparing yourself to what other people have or what they're doing or how quickly they're hitting their goals, then it becomes a lot more straightforward. Now, I won't sit here and say that it's easy, because it does take a lot of discipline and focus, but it's definitely easier once you're not trying to, compare yourself to literally everyone around you. Remember how we said earlier that you don't know what other people can afford or what their financial situation really looks like? So listen, if you're that person that's comparing yourself to what other people are buying, then you're comparing yourself to one small little tiny picture, right? So you're always gonna feel like you're failing. Instead, compare yourself right now to you a year ago. Did you pay off your debt? Did you save more money? Did you start investing? Did you learn more about money? Did you increase your financial confidence? All of this means that you're making progress on your financial goals, which once again is great. You're only doing this to help better your life or your family's life anyways. So who cares about how fast you did it compared to someone else? Only your ego does.
Okay, so I'm jumping in here because we want to talk to you guys about a way that you can help kickstart your financial goals and also keep more money in your pocket, which is with Neo Financial. Now, I've been using the Neo card, which is a cashback credit card, since last October. And there's also the Neo Money high interest savings account that just recently increased their interest rate to 1.8%. Now, that's currently one of the highest rates available in Canada right now. Now, the Neo card has no annual fees, and on top of a minimum of 1% cashback on every purchase and an average of 5% with their cashback partners, including gas and grocery stores, you can also get a first-time purchase bonus of 15% or more. Then with the Neo Money account, they also have no fees and unlimited transactions. And we personally make sure that we use high interest savings accounts for our emergency funds because it can earn you more on your money. Now, if you're interested in checking out Neo Financial, then make sure you check out the link in our description box and also in the pinned comment below. Okay, so last up, I really wanted to revisit the whole topic of money's too scary, I don't know what I'm doing, investing's too complicated or risky thing. Now, even if you're on board with everything else we talked about so far, it really can be a big mental block to overcome money fears specifically. And if you believe that you can't understand something, then you're never going to, because you're probably not even going to try to learn anything. Now, I know that it can be really scary at first, but I'm telling you that you can learn about money and grow your confidence. I know I was personally terrified to start investing and even to start talking about it because I wasn't confident enough. I thought I'd definitely mess something up. So I made sure I made it a goal of mine to learn more about money and specifically about investing over time. And by actively trying to understand it, my confidence was able to grow so quickly. Now I'm telling you that it feels really empowering to actually know what's going on with your money and also how to take care of yourself. And you can do it really slowly and over time if that's what works best for you. But the important thing is believing that you can learn about money and then going out and doing it. Now, when it comes to investing, there's definitely a lot of different information out there, and it can take some time to really understand your options and what's going to be best for you. But our main message for today is that people just need to be investing to truly grow their wealth. And you can see that in the stats, like how the wealthiest 10% of Americans own 89% of all stocks. So even though according to a recent study by Gallup, 58% of Americans own stock of some kind, the people with the most money own a lot more. And there are ways to invest that are lower risk and really simple, like passively investing in long-term, low-cost ETFs. We have a lot of different videos on this channel about how to start investing, including this video that will link for you all about investing for the very first time if you want a starting point for your learning journey. And remember, you can build up your knowledge and confidence over time, but at the very least, you need to start.
All right, so you are the reason that you're not hitting your financial goals, but you don't have to be. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. We hope that you guys like it. We hope that it actually gave you at least one action item to actually take away with you. And yeah, honestly, we gotta stop comparing ourselves to others. Like, it's not doing us any justice. It's not helping us on our investing goals. It's not helping us on any goals, right? But yeah, anyways, if you guys haven't already liked the video, make sure you like down below. Make sure you subscribe right there in the corner. And before we head out, I do want to give a huge shout out to Neo Financial for working with us on this video. As usual, we appreciate it a lot, right? And if you haven't checked out any of our previous videos, guys, make sure you do check them out next. Door. We will be back. You know the vibes. Let's go.